With the full moon on February the 27th, we will experience a sense of upliftment. We're being uplifted energetically, vibrationally, in our entire being into a higher timeline, into a higher frequency band. Now, this month has already been very, very expansive. The energy was very expansive, where you may have already noticed that you were being elevated into a higher frequency, that you felt more expansive in your life, in all areas of your life. And now with this full moon, we're reaching another high point of this expansive energy where we're really being uplifted. Now, if you remember me talking about in the forecast for this month, it was about that throughout this month, we're elevating in consciousness. We're raising in frequency. And with this full moon, we're really reaching that additional high point of this heightened energy where we're really being attuned to a higher frequency band. We're being uplifted into that higher timeline. In this video, I want to share with you the key things I think you should know about this particular full moon, and also some action steps of what you can really do to really harness this beautiful energy that is now available. Now, before I dive in, I do want to mention that this is going to be my last forecast in this format. Starting next month, I'm actually going to shift things around where I will not give you this lengthy forecast, but instead I will give you just a brief overview of the energy of the full moon, and it will be followed with a light language activation, like an energetic calibration to the energy of the full moon or also the new moon. So any cosmic events, I will no longer create these lengthy forecasts. It will only be a short, brief overview followed by the energetic calibration through light language. So if you would like to receive these energetic calibration, then definitely stay tuned for that. It will start in March where I will create these shifts. So definitely, if you haven't done so already, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified. And if you're already a subscribed member of my community, then definitely stay tuned. I'm so grateful that you're here. And I cannot wait to bring you these energetic calibration instead of these lengthy forecasts. But we still have this one forecast that I want to share with you about the full moon. So let's dive right in with the very first thing that I would like for you to know, which is that you will, with this full moon, you will receive an energetic lift. You will raise in consciousness, in frequency. You will really receive this energetic lift to expand into or to raise into a higher frequency band. So basically, you will ascend into a higher way of being, a higher way of going about life. And this is really what this year is all about, is really to live more of a soul-aligned life, to go about life in a higher, more aligned way. This is really the Aquarian way, right? We are in the age of Aquarius now for the next, 19, 20 years. So this is really the way now moving forward. We're really being assisted energetically with these cosmic events to raise in consciousness, to align ourselves to that higher frequency, that higher timeline. And this is really what's happening now with this full moon as well. You're receiving an energetic lift to align yourself to that higher way of being. And here it's really about being open, being receptive, and also allowing this to unfold because it is to your highest and greatest good. And then the second thing I want you to know is that now this raising in frequency, being uplifted, may actually cause somewhat of an inner turmoil because you're actually being asked to leave behind the old. Because as you're being uplifted, as you're raising in frequency, as you're raising in vibration, you need to let go of all the stuff that no longer serves you, that's weighing you down, all that 3D stuff, the doubts, the fears, limitations, all of that stuff that's been keeping you really anchored deeply into the 3D world, the limited world. Now that we're being uplifted, you're being asked to let that go, to leave that behind, to shed all that stuff that's no longer is serving you, that is no longer to your highest and greatest good. And that can cause somewhat of an inner turmoil because your ego, your personality wants to hold on to what is known, what is comfortable, even though maybe you're living a life that is not necessarily all that comfortable. Maybe you're going through a lot of adversities and challenges, but even that is known to the ego, to the personality. You know that, well, I can survive this. I mean, I'm surviving this right now, even though it's not comfortable, but I know how to handle this. Anything other than that, I don't know. So oftentimes we resist the change, even though we want that, right? And it's even with our desires, like if you're trying to go after your desires, it's often the unconscious fears that are in direct conflict of our conscious desires, which can also cause that conflict and the fears, the doubts, holding us back from really creating the life that we want. So now with this full moon, you may actually feel a little squeezed internally because deep down you know that there are certain habits, certain beliefs, certain doubts, fears, all of that stuff that is actually not serving you any longer. And you deep down, you know that it's time to let that go. But a part of you is like, no, I'm not letting that go, because then what am I going to do then, right? I don't know who I am without all these things. Even identities, your limited identities. You may also want to allow yourself to release them, to let them go, to transcend them into something of a higher essence. Because in order to really ascend or transcend into a higher way of being, that also means letting go of these limiting identities that have been keeping you stuck. And you have that opportunity now with this full moon. And this may cause some internal turmoil if you're not really ready for that, if you're not open to that, or if you're resisting it. But it is to your highest and greatest good. So here, allow yourself to maybe become aware of what are some habits, some beliefs, some doubts that you have, or even the way of how you're showing up in the world. Maybe some identities that are really no longer serving you anymore. They served you up until this point, but now they're really not serving you anymore. Simply become aware of that and allow yourself to transcend all of that into a higher way of going about life, a higher way of being. Now, you may feel some resistance around that, but just allow yourself to move through this, to release the old, the stuff that is no longer serving you. You have grown ready to do that now. And if you need help with that, if you would like some support in that, then I want to invite you to maybe join me inside my membership Transcendence, where I can support you on a weekly basis through our weekly calls. And there's also a 12-week Soul Alchemy journey, a powerful program that will help you go deep into how to really overcome these challenges, do the inner work, creating these massive shifts, and start creating that life that you would love to live, like really manifesting the life that you desire in the most aligned way. If that's of interest to you, there's a link in the description below. You can join Transcendence, try it out for free for 7 days, see if it's the right fit for you. I would be honored if you were to join me to really create the shifts in your life that you are now ready to really create. So if that's of interest to you, like I said, the link is in the description below. I would be honored if you were to join me. But now, the next thing that I want you to know is that your inner knowing also will expand, where you will have that inner knowing that you are right where you're meant to be, that whatever's happening in your life is exactly what is meant to happen, and it's to your highest and greatest good. And that no matter what, no matter how challenging your life is right now, or how not very okay you're feeling, that you are okay no matter what. Despite anything that's going on, you are okay. You may also notice that your soul is speaking much louder now too. You're receiving more of those nudges, those inspirational hits, and maybe that inner confirmation that you are okay. Everything is going to be okay. And here it's about really allowing your soul to guide you, really allowing yourself to connect with that inner knowing. Because when you allow yourself to really be led from that voice from within, not the mind, okay, not the ego mind, okay, I just want to say that. Do not listen to the ego mind, because it will deceive you, it will derail you, it will tell you that you're not good enough and all of those things. So do not listen to the ego mind. Listen to from within. Listen to your soul, listen to your heart. That inner voice will guide you on your path moving forward. And that's also being ignited within you right now too. So that inner knowing will expand. So here it's really about listening to that. Being open to receiving the guidance and listening and trusting and acting on the guidance that you're receiving. That is going to be key here. Then the fourth thing I would like for you to know is that on around the full moon, you may actually also have some physical discomfort as well. You may have some ear ringing because you're receiving these high frequency downloads. You may notice that your crown, your head, or even your third eye is pulsating, is maybe constricting, or you feel somewhat of a sensation there. Even your heart and your high heart as well. You may feel like your heart is kind of like skipping a beat, or like it's kind of like fluttering or whatnot, or you feel somewhat of a tension around your heart center. And just know that, of course, if you have any physical concerns, definitely get that checked out. But if you're usually healthy and there's nothing to worry about, then just know that you're receiving these upgrades. You're being attuned. Your heart center is being attuned. Your high heart is being attuned. Your third eye, your crown, and even your other energy centers as well. Your entire energetic field is being attuned to this higher frequency. Remember, we're being uplifted into a higher way of going about life. So we're receiving that energetic uplift, that energetic upgrade, that recalibration. So you may have somewhat of a physical sensation as well. You may actually have some body aches as well. And here it's maybe great to do some kind of movement exercise, whether it's yoga or going to the gym or walking or anything like that, or even just gentle stretching, just to move the energy around, to help the stuck energy really release. Here it's also maybe ideal to maybe have somewhat of an energetic healing session. That would be great as well, to really help you release any of that stuck energy, to recalibrate you as well. So just be aware of that. Do what you feel called to do to really assist you throughout this physical discomfort that you may be experiencing. And then the fifth and final thing I want you to know is that there's a very, very big invitation to just surrender. Surrender all that no longer serves you. Surrender a limited way of being, a limited way of going about way. Release any limitations in your life, any fears, any doubts that are really holding you back. Release all that. Surrender yourself to what is unfolding, to a higher way, a higher path. Open yourself up to a new, more aligned, more grounded, more centered way, a more elevated way. There's so much beautiful things that are unfolding for you right now, for all of us. Yes, there's a lot of negativity going on in our world, but you know what? Even the things that are not going so well in our life, in the economy and the world around us, there is a higher reason for that as well. Even though we may not see it in the moment, but it's all happening for a higher reason. There's a lot of shedding, a lot of letting go, a lot of completion and conclusion that is going to happen throughout this year. Because remember, this is a 9 universal year, so there's going to be a lot of conclusion, a lot of releasing, a lot of letting go. Well, but as we're letting go, we're also moving into a higher way. So just know that even though there's a lot going on in the world right now, maybe even in your life, we are in a cycle of completion, and completion can also bring up a lot of turmoil as well. But with the energy of this year and even this month just alone, we're really being uplifted to really let go of all that, to surrender that. And that's really the invitation, is to surrender all the stuff that's no longer serving you, so you can uplift into a higher way of going about life, in a more expansive way of showing up in the world. So just know the fifth thing here is really allow yourself to surrender. Surrender to that higher way. Surrender what's no longer serving you or is no longer to your highest and greatest good. So that was it with the key things. So now let me share with you some action steps for how to really make the most out of this beautiful full moon energy. The first thing is that I want you to know is that reflect on what is now ready to be released. What is no longer serving you? What are you now ready to let go of? And then surrender all that. Surrender yourself to a higher, better way. Make the conscious choice that, okay, I'm done with all that. I'm no longer in alignment with that. I'm no longer open to these limitations, these fears, these doubts, and all of that stuff. Then the second action step I want to invite you to consider is do something each and every day that raises your vibration. Something that brings you joy, that excites you. This could be like a passion project. This could be the work that you're doing if it deeply fulfills you. Let's say you are a spiritual entrepreneur, or you're in business, or even your career, and it really deeply fulfills you. Really immerse yourself more into that. Do something fun. Do something that brings you joy. Do something that puts a smile on your face, that really uplifts your entire essence. Do more of that on a day-to-day basis, because oftentimes we're stuck at the mundane, right? We have to do the tasks that we have to do as adults, right? The responsible adults. We got to take care of things. We got to go to work. We got to take care of the home and the family and all of those different things. And we're often stuck in autopilot and in the mundane. So here the invitation is bring more joy into your day. Bring more high frequency energy into your day. Whether it's you just maybe laughing and singing or dancing or doing something that creative that really brings you joy, that uplifts you, or maybe hang out with friends and just laughing, whatever it is. Maybe do something that really deeply fulfills you, that makes you feel like you're really on purpose. Like I love creating videos, for example. So that brings joy into my day. And even the work that I do with clients, that also brings me joy. But then also, I love going to the gym. So when you do something on a day-to-day basis that really uplifts you, that really puts a smile on your face, that helps you shift into a higher essence, into a higher frequency. And this is what's really available right now. And it's an invitation for you to do more of that. Bring more of that into your day to raise your vibration, to raise your frequency. You can also tap into the energy of adventure, of curiosity, of playfulness. bring more of that into your day and see how your day unfolds in a much higher way, in a much more aligned and fun way as well, an enjoyable way. And then the third thing, I already mentioned that it's about gentle movement to really move that any stuck energy, because like I said, you may experience some physical discomfort. So here, any gentle exercise, or you can go to a gym and have a full-blown workout as well, whatever suits you. But it's about when you're doing it, I want to invite you, be more intentional about it, to as you are doing the movement, whether it's walking or just stretching or yoga, Pilates or exercise or anything like that, be intentional about that. You're doing this now with each movement that you're taking, that you're making, that you're releasing any stuck energy. That you're releasing the stuck energy out of your muscles, out of your joint, out of your fibers, out of your entire body, out of your energetic field, that you're moving the energy, that you're releasing the energy, that you're transmuting the energy into the nothingness where it came from, any stuck energy. Really be intentional about that. But these are the action steps that I want you to know, that I want to invite you to maybe consider bringing into your day, because it will really assist you with what is really now available with this full moon. There's a beautiful energy coming in. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video, by the way. Like I said, starting next month, the energy forecast will be different, where it's going to be more so a light language activation, calibration, so to speak, and just a quick overview of the forecast. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. Maybe leave me a comment below. Let me know. How are you feeling about what I just shared with you? How does it resonate with you? I would love to know. And also be sure to check out these two videos here. Two beautiful light language activation. One about enhancing your intuitive abilities, and another one about opening your heart to unconditional love. I think you're going to enjoy both of them. So thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.